Now, because I have given you an alternative does not mean you abuse it. So let us be a little mature, because we want to do this in a more productive way without us shouting, keep quiet. Otherwise, I'll be forced to mute you, and then we shall not have a productive discussion. Let us be mature enough and we do as we are expected. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to automatically assign you into, I'm going to make let's make about 5 groups. Others will be automatically joining those groups. I think 5 groups are okay.
I like group work.
Yes.
They're going to make us groups. But I don't want a dull one like the other day.
Excuse me. Could we please? Okay, so I will prefer that in the first group, Joel, can you be you're going to be the chairperson. Then the second group, so you'll choose the person to be your secretary. In the second room, Blessing is going to be the chairperson. In the third group, Abigail will be the chairperson. Room 4, I see Junju Pius is going to be the group leader. And then finally, group number
Yes, Teacher Larry.
Are you able to see my screen?
Teacher Larry.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, can you give these people clear instructions on what they're supposed to do? And then you break out the groups and you leave your screen on presentation mode so that they can be seeing. Huh?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So the number is increasing, and now I can be giving instructions, and then after the end of my instructions, I'll be able to break you into your groups. I've already said in those groups, you expect a chairperson and a secretary, and then you keep recording your discussion. So as already guided, Teacher Larry, and I'll be taking you through this lesson. We are handling chapter 3, and it's about food. I'm sure all of us here, when we hear about food, almost water, because we all have our best foods and all that. So today we are going to look at the different types of food. But before we look at that, I want to look at our main subtopic here. I have a simple quote for you here that use every opportunity you get in life to learn something new. So I'm going to display a few pictures. We shall have a mini discussion as a class, and then later on we break them into different groups. For example, what are you seeing on my screen? Very fast. What are you seeing on my screen? You can put up your hand. Yes, Isaiah Opio, what are you seeing?
Different food.
Pardon?
I can see pumpkin,
You can see somewhat?
some pumpkin,
Mhm.
granite, and I can see some some beans.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Let us give another person. Kantono, what are you
Some
saying?
greens.
Kantono, what are you saying?
Beans.
Don't mention what Opio has already mentioned.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Some green.
Who else is seeing more things? Kagongo, Angela, Chigongo rather.
Teacher, I can see pumpkins.
Pumpkin has already been mentioned. Anything else?
I can see some.
What is this one here?
This one. That one I
Yes,
don't know.
this one I'm pointing at.
These ones
Okay.
are
Then this,
leaves.
what about this one?
Or is it called coffee?
Okay, I can see we really needed this discussion. Okay, that is not
Because
coffee, but someone else will be able to tell us.
the other one I know it in Uganda, M1.
This one,
Yes.
my dear. Okay, we shall find out, but it is not. I'm very sure it's not. So today we want to look at the different types of foods. So
Teacher.
in my question, maybe before we look at that, can you be able to tell me what this is? By show of hands. Precious. Precious, could you be able to tell me what that is? Yes.
Teacher, we are not seeing anything.
Okay, I was saying, sorry about that. My network is off and on. It's drizzling this side. This is, yes, we're in an English lesson. Shidasha, I don't know. Chigongo, please, could you mute your microphone?
Okay.
We're getting a lot of feedback. Okay, so I was trying to ask someone else to tell us what was on my screen then. Let me share now. Are we able to see what is on my screen now? Let me have Olivia Namudi. Yes, Olivia.
Chicken.
Yes, Olivia.
Chicken. Chicken.
You're saying chicken.
Yes.
Chicken. Manchester United. You're saying chicken.
Mushrooms. Mushrooms.
Are you sure? That's a new
Yes.
one. I did not know. I'm seeing something else. Let's have another person try. Your microphone. Davita, could you try for us? What are you seeing on the screen? Please mute your microphone. Hello, class. Hello, class. Yes, AJ, what are you seeing on screen? You'll forgive me, my network is off and on, and I'm struggling with it. It's getting to rain here. Someone is saying, yes?
How do you tell that? How do you tell that? So I'm asking that how do you tell that this is the North Pole and this?
How do I tell this is the North Pole and East Pole? Are you picking that from my notes or you are in another lesson? This is an English lesson.
Yeah?
Hello? Oh, yes. Someone is saying cotton. That is okay. Now, let me try to show something different from the cotton. Let me see which other slide we could be able to. And then what do you see next on my screen? What are we seeing on the screen? Next thing we are seeing on the screen. Yes, what are we seeing on the screen? Victor, what are you seeing on the screen? Yes, Victor, what are you seeing on the screen?
Coffee.
Coffee. Now, I want you to tell me the difference between the first picture and the last two pictures in terms of crops. What are those? What's the difference between the first picture that I showed you here, this one, and then the last two pictures that I have shown you? What is the difference? Yes, I'm seeing coffee plantation. That is true. Can you be able to share? Let me see here. Pauline, what's the difference between the first one picture and the last two pictures that I've shared with you? Could you be able to share with us? Yes? Any other person? Seems her network is also not good. Ogwal?
These first ones are eatable foods and the other second ones were cash crops.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's exactly what we are going to look at today. So my assignment to you people as a group is here. I'm assigning you this in our different groups. We are going to be able to look at, as a group, discuss the difference between food crops and cash crops, make a list of 7 for each. So depending on the region you are in. So you're going to be able to, in your groups, to discuss the difference between cash crops and food crops. Also mention how the different types of crops are grown. So if you tell me, maybe the ones you've seen here, you tell me the name of the crop, the cash crop, and then also give me the names of the food crops. Then you, as a group, discuss how they are planted. So that's what I want you to do as a group. Mr. Otto, are you there?
Yes, I'm around. Yes, please. I'm around. Teacher Larry.
Otto?
Yes. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, now help me break this into groups automatically. Then help me break them. Yes, I can now. Help me break the students into groups.
A moment. Let me just make you the host, yeah?
Okay.
And then you break them.
Okay. So also, how you're going to go about your assignment. In each group, we must have a group leader and a secretary to record the points discussed. You can use internet to do your, as part of your resource or research material. any member of the group can present as I will be picking out randomly. So I expect all of us to work as a group. Here, I'm teaching you teamwork. I'm teaching you also how to look for information.
Okay.
So I'm going to,
Antonia, what were
give
you
you,
saying? Antonia,
Mr. Otto,
I
have
had
you done
issues
that?
with my computer briefly. Antonia, what were you saying? Teacher Larry.
Yes.
Teacher Larry, how are you breaking the groups? I'm seeing as if, are you setting the timer well?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes, so you set the timer, maybe 10 minutes or maybe 5, the number of minutes you want these learners to be. But I'm seeing time is fast running, so you can give them 10 minutes depending on the nature of the activity. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I hope you're not getting. If you are finding any challenge, let me know so that I can
I
break
was
it.
trying to assign automatically, but it's giving me the first one. So maybe help me break it. It's only giving me the first people I'd assigned. Can we recreate?
How many groups do you want to assign?
I think let's make 7.
7 groups.
Yes.
So is it accepting you to make 7 groups?
It is, but it's asking me to recreate because there were others that were not there.
Oh yeah, true. Because I think because many people are joining. So you first try to recreate again. If it fails, and then I'm going to do it.
Okay. Recreate 7 groups.
Don't forget with the timing.
Okay. Okay, back to normal discussions. All of you are leaving your groups automatically. I'm bringing you back here. Any group that was able to discuss group 1, Kigongo. Look, it's okay. Look for a good network area. Please look. Yes.
For me, I was group 7, but I can give you all our answers.
Okay, which group was that?
Group 7.
It's okay. You can begin by definitions and then the different crops you gave. I'll give you 2 minutes or 3, and then I pick another group.
The definition were food crops are grown to feed the farmer's own family, while cash crops are the ones that are grown for earning money. Another one was food crops are the crops that are mainly grown for humans and animals, while cash crops are the crops that are internationally grown for earning money. Then the examples for food crops: wheat, potatoes, rice, corn, maize, millet, soybeans, and tobacco. Then cash crops: cotton, wool, coffee, cocoa, tea, sugarcane, spices, and oil palm.
Okay.
Yeah, those are our views.
Okay. However, the second part is the next thing we shall be looking at. Thank you so much. Any other group? Thank you so much, group 7. Can we have Elizabeth? Which group were you in? Elizabeth, which group were you in? Elizabeth, which group were you in? Okay, maybe Angela. I picked Opio earlier on. Opio, you had a group, you're a group leader. Sorry, Opio is here. Opio, you're a group leader. Come in, Opio.
Yes,
Which group were you in?
but I was in group 7 and I finished to say.
Oh, okay, thank you. Can I have another group? Noelyne, I remember picking you as well as a group leader.
Morning, teacher.
Morning to you.
I'm from group 6.
Okay, present what group 6 had.
Okay. Like the difference between cash crops and food crops.
Yes.
Cash crops are crops grown for sale rather than home consumption, whereas food crops are grown mainly for home consumption. Then, examples of cash crops, we gave coffee, cocoa, tea, spices, sugarcane. Then for food crops, cabbage, bananas, beans, peas, etc.
Etc. is part of the example.
No, and many others.
Okay, thank you. That's a good one. Let's have another group. Let me see. Angela, were you in a different group? Noelyne, you can mute. Sorry, I've again picked Mugabe Winnie.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I am from group room 5.
Room 5, okay.
And here I can give an answer for our group. And it says, these crops are grown for food such as cereals, wheat, rice, pulses, or seeds, while the cash crops are cultivated for commercial purposes such as coffee, rubber, coconut, and spices.
Okay. So at this point, can we mute? Winnie, you can mute. Opio, you can mute. We all must agree that cash crops, at least most of us, we have defined it correctly, that cash crops are those that are planted strictly for sale. Those are for commercial purposes to be sold, while food crops are those that are grown strictly for consumption as food, to be directly eaten at home as food. And like you have given the many examples, they can be reflected in some of these pictures I showed us, the beans, the yams. Now, I was trying to show someone last time who was saying that they did not know this one. Now, if you've gone to the market and you've seen those ladies working on green things, usually those, first of all, let's begin with the greens here. These are also there. They are different. We have nakati. These are nuts. These are beans and all that. These are cowpeas. These ones I am pointing at here are cowpeas. So most of these are grown for home consumption. They are meant to feed the family, instantly cooked, boiled, and eaten. While these ones, the next one that I showed in the other picture, for example, this is cotton. Cotton, coffee, and many others that you've mentioned, cocoa, all those are grown to be sold. So those are usually what we call cash crops. These are the cash crops, and all these ones in this picture are food crops, and many others that are not here. So I wanted you as a class to be able to know, in your area, do you ever see these things? And I am very certain you've seen most of the food crops. However, the ones which are rare are the cash crops. Those are sometimes rare because you find some regions do not grow all these crops. However, most of the food crops are grown everywhere. So I presented, how do you plant some of the cash crops that are common in your area? That's now the next thing I am interested in. Let me begin with Jacqueline. Jacqueline, yes, how do you plant some of it? You can mention a cash crop and then you explain to us how it is planted or how it's grown rather. Yes, Jacqueline? Mention the group you're in and then you can be able to tell us.
I'm in group 4.
Okay, group 4.
Cassava.
Cassava, where does it fall?
Cassava, it's in food crop by planting stems.
So what do you do? I want you to give us the entire procedure. What happens? I want the entire procedure. Okay, let's have Angela. And then after Angela, we shall have Opio and then Dr. Nakaima. Dr. Kaima. Yes, Angela?
Yes, sir.
Which food crop or which cash crop are you choosing to give us the procedure, how it's grown?
Anyways, I choose Irish potatoes.
Okay.
Irish potatoes are grown. The roots are grown. They store their food. What? Irish potatoes store their foods in roots.
I'm not asking where they store. I'm asking, how do you grow Irish potatoes? How do you grow Irish potatoes? Okay.
They grow the roots.
How do you do it? I want the entire procedure, how you start until the last part. Okay, it seems your network is a bit off and on. I will have Shidashan, could you come in and help us?
Mr. Waya. Teacher.
Which food
Excuse
crop
me,
or which
sir.
cash crop do you know how it's planted? You're excused.
My suggestion was on nuts.
Okay, take us through.
You clear land.
Mm-hmm.
After you dig and put some seeds.
We are listening.
I've said that you clear some land. After you dig, you put some seeds and water them. Then you leave it for some time to keep growing. That's my suggestion, sir.
Okay, I shall polish it a bit. Who can tell me for coffee, how coffee is planted? That is not what I'm interested in. Let's pick coffee. Who can be able to tell us how coffee is planted? Dr. Kaima, how is coffee planted?
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Take us through the procedure of planting coffee. How it's grown.
How it's grown. It's planted by means of seed. You first clear the land, then you dig the hole. You put the seed inside, then you cover, then you water. After you leave it to grow.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, let's have someone. I know another procedure. Maybe that can be able to help us as well. Let us get Mwesigwa. Mwesigwa, could you tell us how coffee is grown? Mwesigwa. Yes, Mwesigwa.
I would like to talk about pumpkins. I'd like to talk about pumpkins.
Okay, you tell us about pumpkins.
When we are going to get a pumpkin, we cut the pumpkin, then we get the seeds and dry them. Then we get caveras, like bags of milk, we cut on top, put in soil, and get the pumpkin seeds that we have dried, then put them in the bags of soil and wait for them to grow. And after there, we take them to the garden and then they grow and they mature from there.
Okay, now that is very correct. That is true. However, that process is called, you put them first in the nursery bed. Are we together? Those small caveras we keep using nursery beds. We first put them in a nursery bed, we grow them in the nursery bed. Then the word is called transplant. We transplant them later on to the main garden. So that is another way you can be able to present it. I'm interested in coffee. Thank you so much, Moisugo, for sharing. I want someone to share with us coffee. Blessing, or you have your own plant you can be able to share with us.
Me, what I know about coffee is that some coffee seeds fall off from the tree and then you transplant them and put them in the main garden. That's what I know.
Okay, so most or some of the cash crops, some of them are put under nursery beds. For example, if you talk about these trees, you know, the mivule trees and all those other types of trees, the coffee plants themselves, most times we first grow them in the nursery bed. and then we transfer them to the main garden, definitely through using what we call seedlings first. You put the seedlings in the nursery bed, the seedlings grow. When they are mature, maybe let's say a month or two, we transfer them later on to the garden, to the main garden. So that is yet another way you can plant. Then the person who was talking about cassava. Cassava, we cut the stems. You go to a garden that has already matured of cassava, you cut the stems, and those are the stems we replant. We dig a hole, put them, slightly bury them a few centimeters down or inches down the ground, and we cover them and wait for it to germinate. So those are some of the key things. I want to make a few comments that when we make these rooms, the breakaway rooms, they are to help you to discuss as students, to be able to share your ideas without us being able to impose on you our ideas. So I expected students to be able to share in their small groups and then compute this work. Definitely, we do not only have one secretary. Everyone is a secretary, because later on you are supposed to make your own notes. So yes, we might have one main secretary, but everyone is a secretary in their own way. Don't wait sometimes for the teacher to make an admin or to choose an admin. If you find that you are responsible enough, make yourself a leader. Most times we say the first participant in that group is the group leader. However, you can also choose yourself to be a group leader. So you'll make your notes in this way, that you'll be able to make notes, the difference between food crops and cash crops. Then you make a list of those, and then later on you try to, at least in a paragraph, you write for us how that you choose one crop, the one that is most grown in your area, and you'll be able to write for us. You make your own notes so that we can be able to have a record of what we are doing. So I expect us next time to do that. Unless we have questions, I see people's hands are up. We could be able to continue sharing until Sozi, your hand is up. You could be able to share with us. Yes, Sozi?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Your hand is up.
Yeah, I had an idea of how to plant groundnuts, but maybe.
No, it's okay. You share.
Yeah, if we are planting groundnuts, we first, because groundnuts they are food crops, so we usually plant the crops during the evening times, because there is not too much sunshine, and the water cannot be so much to pour. So we first dig small holes in a nursery bed, and then we put them in a hole. Then we cover them with soil. After covering them with soil, and we pour their water until they grow. Then after when they have grown, we can transplant them. We can transplant them
Sozi,
from
which region is that? Sozi, which region is that?
Pardon?
Which region is that?
The region.
Yes.
The region. Yeah, I'm saying.
Yes,
how
like
to plant. Okay.
Yes, what I'm asking you, for example,
Yes.
for us in Teso, we plant them differently. Which region are you from?
I'm from Buganda.
You're from Buganda. They first put nuts in nursery bed.
No, we don't first put them in the nursery bed, but in order to prevent them from too much weeds, we put them in the nursery bed.
So I don't want to. I will have to do research, but I've never seen that in Buganda myself. I'm right here in the heart of Buganda. I usually see people plant them direct.
Maybe, but that's how I practiced it, and it was better for me.
Okay, we are looking for other exceptions. Thank you.
Okay.
Now, different regions do it in a different way. So let us always know that we respect how different regions plant their things. For example, the potatoes in Uganda are different from the way the Easterners do it. You know, for us, we first bury the stems, then later on, we remove the soil. But in Uganda, they just leave the stems open. So those are different ways. I just wanted us to learn this chapter to be able to learn the different ways these plants, first of all, what they are, and then how they are planted, different crops in different regions. I had expected us to divide ourselves in regions, but this is just okay. We can be able to share in different regions how crops are planted. Thank you so much for those who have been able to attend. And God bless you. We shall continue this discussion in our WhatsApp group and Google Classroom. Okay, of course, for the beginning, not everyone knows what to do, but we shall keep improving. All right, thank you. Thank you. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Karen.
Bye.
You can end the meeting.